House is expected to vote within the hour on a revised funding bill to end this partial government shutdown, now in its fourth day. So this package would fund the Pentagon, state, Treasury, and other departments through September, but Homeland Security would only be funded for 2 weeks while lawmakers negotiate potential changes to immigration enforcement. Right now, it's unclear how many House Democrats will vote in favor of the final package, which means House Republicans can only afford to lose one vote if all Democrats do indeed vote no. That's not the only breaking news, though, we are following on Capitol Hill. Former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will each give depositions as part of the House Oversight Committee's investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Senior congressional correspondent Joe Khalil is live on Capitol Hill. So, Joe, let's start with the Clintons. When are they set to give those depositions?
So February 26, we will see Hillary Clinton come in for a closed-door deposition. And February 27th, the next day, President Bill Clinton will come in. Those terms just agreed to within the last hour. And remember, we had the news breaking last night that the Clintons had agreed to the terms that were set forth by Republicans on the House Oversight Committee, demanding they come in and give a deposition. Also, very important context here, the Clintons were probably about 48 hours away from the House voting to recommend criminal charges against them for refusing to comply with a subpoena in the Epstein investigation. They had been asked months ago to come in and provide some kind of deposition as it relates to the Epstein investigation. Republicans and Democrats voted to bring in the Clintons, and they had refused to do that and missed the date the committee originally set for them to come in. So now, seemingly, they have a deal. They are ready to come in here. This is what the chairman of the committee, James Comer, had to say about this in part. He says, quote, "Once it became clear that the House of Representatives would hold them in contempt, the Clintons completely caved and will appear for transcribed, filmed depositions this month." Now, it seemed as though the Clintons had agreed to this last night, but it was still unclear as to exactly what the terms of the negotiation were. The Clinton attorneys were trying to sort of limit the scope of what they could be asked about, both Hillary and Bill. So they've now been able to come to terms. There was a noon deadline set for today, which obviously now has been met. This is what the Clintons' spokesperson said just last night when the news broke. Again, they were going to agree to this. Quote, "They negotiated in good faith. You did not," referring to the Republicans on the Oversight Committee. Says they told you under oath what they know. You don't care. But the former president and former secretary will be there. They look forward to setting a precedent that applies to everyone. One more important caveat here, Nichole. The spokesperson for the Clintons has shared social media posts that has New York Times reporting that the Clintons want to do this publicly. They want to have a hearing where the entire public can watch. They answer questions from lawmakers in a public forum. Right now, that is not what's happening. This is going to be behind closed doors, private deposition. But between now and then, things could change. So we will see, obviously, a lot changing and happening rapidly now as the story develops. I'll just mention also that that week is a Thursday, Friday, I believe, those depositions. Tuesday of that week is the State of the Union address, where President Trump will come to Capitol Hill and provide the State of the Union. So that's going to be a huge week here in Washington.
Absolutely. All right. So, Joe, let's go back to the government shutdown and this funding package in the House right now. What can we expect after the debate wraps up?
So around 1:40, maybe a half hour from now, we expect that the House will take its final vote on a government funding package that will officially end this partial shutdown. We fully expect that that vote is going to pass and the government will be funded. The shutdown will be over. The drama happened on the vote that set up the later vote later on, which was a procedural motion, and effectively Republicans, except for one, all got in line. There was some last-minute back and forth between the Republican leadership and one of their members, Congressman John Rose, who was refusing to vote for this. Ultimately, he caved. We're going to try to find out what happened in those discussions sort of behind closed doors. The bottom line is we are headed for a vote in about a half hour, and we fully expect that vote will pass. the government will be funded. And right now, this partial shutdown that we are technically still in will be over in a short period of time. If that does not happen, there will be a surprise snag, and we'll get back on the air and report it to you. But that is the expectation from everyone that we've spoken to so far today, Nichole.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.